hundreds of people are outside the state capitol protesting Vanderbilt Medical Center's gender-affirming surgeries. Protesters both for and against transgender surgeries are making their voices heard.
Now, this follows an expose by Matt Walsh revealing the hospital's use of puberty-blocking drugs, cross-sex hormones, and mastectomies, in some cases on minors. Vanderbilt Medical Center has since paused its gender-affirming surgeries and is vowing to review their practices. Counter-protesters say this is a violent attempt to hurt the LGBTQ community and that lawmakers are pushing a transphobic misinformation campaign ahead of the midterm elections. Those opposed to these procedures say minors should not be making these life-altering decisions.
If kids lack the maturity and critical thinking skills to sign a contract, to vote, or even get a tattoo, how can they possibly be mature enough to understand and consent to the life-changing implications of these drastic procedures?
Now, Senator Marsha Blackburn, along with Tulsi Gabbard, are here in town voicing their opposition to these procedures. Those fighting for LGBTQ rights say lawmakers cannot pick and choose whom they discriminate against.
This is not the version of America that I fight for. Justice is justice. You can't skip one justice and go to another justice. You can't marginalize someone's ability to be human and be fully themselves. It's not okay.
And that's Congressional Candidate there, Odessa Kelly. Vanderbilt Medical Center performing an average of 5 gender-affirming surgeries involving minors every year since 2018. All were over the age of 16 and all reportedly had parental consent.
I'm standing right outside of the entrance of Brookmead Park, and you can see next to me here a dumpster filled with trash, garbage here on the ground. Now it's left community members continuously calling on something to be done. Uninhabitable conditions inside one of the city's largest homeless camps in West Nashville.
This city has to act as a community to solve this problem. The days of sitting around and waiting for someone else to do the work, that is past.
A team of nonprofits, community stakeholders, and city leaders spent weeks developing a homeless encampment strategy plan. An assessment team would go inside the camps and then create a prioritization list when housing becomes available. While we asked for a specific list of encampments, Metro's Homeless Impact Division says they will not be publicized to eliminate trauma for people. That list goes hand in hand with a portion of Mayor John Cooper's $50 million to address homelessness, the temporary housing.
We have people that have gone through the programs and they come right back to the park. So what is the answer to that?
The Metro Parks police captain did say in September at one point a third of those who found housing made their way back to Brookmead Park. Metro's Homeless Impact Division's role does not include enforcement, but says refusal of services, though not frequent, is a reality, and hope they can trust us enough to assist them in transitioning into safe and stable environments. However, with Brookmead, the enforcement would come from Metro Parks. Will Parks enforce the ordinances and secure Brookmead Park so once folks are in that temporary housing, they don't come back to the park?
So to ensure that no encampments return across the city is going to require increased staffing. It's going to require working with the Metro Police Department, require working with citizens like the Brookmead Park Coalition.
We reached back out to Metro Parks via email to ask if there's an updated strategy on enforcement or a plan if folks do not want to leave, since Brookmead is on the department's property. A spokesperson for Metro Parks says we will continue to work with the mayor's office, Metro's Homeless Impact Division, and others who are working to find housing options for those displaced individuals. Now there's no timeline for when these assessments will be complete, and the prioritization list will not be made public.
I was not ready for this story. This story was like okay, what? Seriously, this is happening? But it is, and the numbers, very convincing. Wait till you hear them now. I'm not pulling this just from anywhere, everybody. This is not just coming from random places on social media. This is the Wilson County Deputy Sheriff, as well as the Wilson County Commission, having serious discussions about a church they say that is in the western part of the county, and they're making a lot of very loud praise and worship music and things like that. They say they have zero doubt where it's coming from. Listen to the numbers directly from the Sheriff's Department.
We had 41 noise complaints. 41, okay? Sounds like a lot. But 22 were from a church. I don't know how you can tell someone how loud they can sing or how loud they can play their music. I can't get there. I think there's too much protection by the federal law, but I'm not that person.
Okay, so the federal law does have certain protections when it comes to churches and places of worship. There's no question about it. And because of that, it can stop them from instituting certain types of laws on them. The commission has not decided whether or not they're going to try to pass a noise ordinance or not, but they have not taken it off the table. They are still considering it and looking into it a little bit further. Coming up, though, in our next hour, you're going to hear directly from the commissioners, one of which says they've heard the praise and worship from this particular church 5 miles away. By the way, we are not naming the church because, to be honest, they haven't named the church there in the meeting, and we do not want to put the wrong name out there at all. So we are not naming any church in particular. Just they say it's in the western part of the county.